Postseason baseball returns to Fenway Park, a picture-perfect early October afternoon. And the Red Sox have come to complete their business against the Anaheim Angels. They won the first two games out west, and this best-of-5 ALDS, can they put the clamps once and for all into the AL West champion Anaheim Angels? Kyle, getting a nosebleed up there?
Absolutely. Can you get a better seat? We're on top of the Green Monster out here in left field. Boomer, it feels more like a fall down in California than a fall down in New England. But 81 straight sellouts this year, 145 overall for this Boston Red Sox ball club here at Fenway. This is sold out, obviously, again, at $500 tickets we're going for on eBay. Something to think about, guys. Boston has not clinched a playoff series here at Fenway Park since 1986. The city's in a frenzy, though, guys. Front page of the Boston Herald. Go Yanks. They want to see the Yankees in the ALCS. Still some work to do, though.
Here is Mike Scioscia's lineup. We told you they had 47 road wins this year. Sean Figgins is at second base. This is the lineup you saw except for the catcher in Game 2. Their more offensive lineup. Darren Erstad is hitting second. Vladimir Guerrero got his first hit, drove in a couple of runs in Game number 2. You saw the Sut talk about Garrett Anderson still looking for his first hit this postseason series. Troy Glass hit a home run in Game number 1 that is still traveling down the freeway. Jeff Devannon, the young left fielder, he's in there and will fight the monster out there. Benji Molina, the Game 1 catcher, behind the plate hitting 7th. Big Dallas McPherson, outstanding minor league numbers in there for his bat, hitting 8th. David Eckstein, who came up in the Red Sox farm system, had a nice reunion with Johnny Pesky, the veteran Red Sox, almost the symbol of the squad. They hugged at the cage beforehand, and that'll be the lineup trying to be tamed by Bronson Arroyo. 10-9 with an ERA of just over 4.
You talked about Eckstein being claimed from the Boston Red Sox organization. The Pittsburgh Pirates put this guy on waivers after the 0-2 season. He was claimed by Boston. He pitched outstanding at the minor league level last year, and in his words, you know what? He says, I started the game that Boston clinched the wild card earlier this season. He said, why not me start the game where they clinch and move on to the ALCS?
Well, the view of Fenway, and boy, I got here very early. I had to do some other business, tape the Swami, and just kind of get a feel for the place. And the street was very active at 11 o'clock this morning, you know, a full 5 hours before game time. And the defense, they've been active for the most part, Tony, for the Red Sox, especially Don Mattingly like at first base, Kevin Millar.
Defensively, the Red Sox have done a great job. And, you know, Bill Miller, the third baseman, is the guy that, you know, kind of leads the charge along with Cabrera out there. But, you know, for the Red Sox, if you're a Red Sox fan, defensively, offensively, pitching, bullpen, they've been the complete package the first 2 games of this series.
Arroyo became, I think, the 19th different hairdo on this team when on an off day, when he had some time in Anaheim, had a Jamaican hairdresser put in the cornrow look. So he fits right in with the rest of these Sox. Ball lofted to left. It's Manny Ramirez there, and Figgins is out. There is one out here for Anaheim. But back to Arroyo. Speaking of hair, I mean, everywhere you look, it's a different hairstyle, guy. I mean, this is maybe they can remake the movie Shampoo 2, because between Damon and Millar's had 6 hairstyles himself, and
it's not going to do Terry Francona any good.
No, he says that when he saw Arroyo's rose, what did he tell us today? He says, made me happy that I was bald
for the first time.
That leadoff hitter, his job is to get on base, no matter any way you can, and try to create some havoc, and they haven't had that so far in this series.
Slow grounder to second, routine for Mark Bellhorn. Over to Kevin Millar, and there's 2 outs. If this series goes 5, and I should say this for all, there's a change this year in the umpire. The same crew, they used to switch after 2 games. The same crew works 4, but if there's a 5th game, there will be a different crew. There'll be a crew that's already out west, for example. Guerrero lofts it to left center. Looking up in the late October sun is Manny Ramirez. And a 1-2-3 inning for Bronson Arroyo. The Angels down, the Red Sox coming up. Johnny Damon leads it off. He's had 2 hits in each of these games. Mark Bellhorn is the second baseman hitting second. Manny Ramirez in left field at the big 3-run homer in the big 7 spot, 4th inning in game number 1. David Ortiz intentionally passed a couple of times last game, and Trot Nixon delivered a big base hit, lost in the Boston 4-run ninth. Then Kevin Millar, who had a homer in the first game, is hitting sixth. Jason Varitek's 2-run homer tied game 2 at 3-3 before the Red Sox won it. Orlando Cabrera is your shortstop, hitting 8th. Billy Miller, the batting champ of a year ago, hitting 9th. Escobar, 6'1", 210, 28-year-old from Venezuela, has the 8th best ERA in the American League, but a losing record for a team that won the and once again, Damon aboard. I mean, ever since Washburn got out of the game, who he struggles with so much in game 1, Damon has been aboard almost every time. Here's the defense for Anaheim.
Yeah, you know, looking at this Angel defensive lineup, McPherson's back at third base. You get the Gold Glover, Molina behind the plate. But the key for them is today, again, just like in the first 2 games, they're going to have to execute on the defensive end.
There goes Damon on the full count. Throwing is Molina. Safe is Damon. Bellhorn gone. So if you think about it, had that ball stayed fair, it's exactly the same situation. Runner at second, 1 out.
Yeah, but the difference, Boomer, is the pitch count.
Correct.
And even though it was an out by Mark Bellhorn, to me, Tony, it's a productive out because it took 6 pitches to get it done, and you still have a man in scoring position.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 36 and 12 since a rainy night against Toronto, August the 16th. 36 and 12, including these 2 wins. Ramirez, shortstop out, center field in, left fielder over. Nobody gets it. Manny, who gave one of those up yesterday and gave 2 days ago in game 3, gets one back. Just indecision all around by Anderson in center, Devannon in left, and Eckstein at short, and a tough Sun.
Yeah, I mean, that ball went up, and everybody's looking for it. You see the bright sky. It's very difficult to pick up the ball.
But you got to pick it up.
Yeah. I mean, somebody's got to take charge. Garrett Anderson's the center fielder, but I don't think he saw it from the beginning. Jeff Devannon tried to cut across to make a play.
You know, Tony, you're exactly right. And once he didn't see it, as we talked about in the open, he does not physically have the ability to get there anymore. Those knees, he won't talk about it. He's a guy that has too much pride. He never complains. Darren Erstad says that he's the most professional person I've ever been around, but he physically right now is not close to 100%.
Gets him on that. Ortiz doing some major fishing there against Escobar.
Well, Tony, we saw on the top of the first, we saw Erstad fooled by the off-speed pitch. We saw Vladimir way out in front. The conditions right now are perfect as far as the time of day to pitch in with these shadows.
Oh, absolutely.
Boston doing the same thing to Escobar that they did to Cologne, boy, putting that pressure on, working that pitch count early.
But Escobar pulling the string nicely, gets Ortiz and Nixon. Boston strands 2, scoreless to 1.
I think the Angels have kind of gotten away from the thing that got them to having the kind of success that they've had, and that's being aggressive. And in order to be aggressive, you know, you got to take some pitches sometimes. And you see there's a ball that was outside. He lines it in the right center field, and sometimes that's what it takes, just a base hit. Sometimes a good at bat, you know, doesn't necessarily have to be a hit, but look where this pitch is. That pitch is way off the plate.
Tries to do with it, Tony, because of, like you said, he's trying to get that weight off that back leg.
That's exactly right.
Because it's so painful for him.
That's right.
That all he can do is pull the baseball, and he really just got lucky there that he didn't hit it into the defense. And he missed that first breaking ball by probably 2 feet as the ball went past the bat.
This is the time of day where you really have to try to concentrate.
He doesn't like that. Remember the big strikeout that he had late in the game, in game number 2. He turns around to Runge there, but this went around too much.
Well, one thing about it, when you're the designated hitter, that's all you get to do. It's the only way you get to contribute. And when the bat's taken out of your hands, as it was in the 8th inning, and Troy Glaus's at bat there, I mean, he was really frustrated at that at bat, and even more so now.
Appeal, yes, he did. And so Devannon is gone. 2 strikeouts here in the second for Arroyo. Nasty breaking stuff.
And he's changing speeds on it too, Rick. I mean, you know, one time he'll throw it straight over the top, and another time at 3/4. This is kind of a 3/4 slider.
where you could see it coming out of his hand. You could see it for a split second, and then all of a sudden the baseball got dark.
Yeah.
Bronson Arroyo is one of the toughest to run on.
Oh, look at that whirly bird go right over the middle of the plate. So all 3 strikeouts registered by Arroyo. Anderson stranded, crowd in it, no score. And he has him playing for him certainly since the middle of August. They have been lights out. And here's Millar. That's on. Now Kevin Millar this year, you know, every 3 weeks you come to the park and you're not sure who you're looking at. Today he fooled you, Tony.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is okay. This is how he started the year in the spring, and then of course we went the surfer dude look with the eye black, and then the shaved, and then the really shaved went from a 10 to a 12 on the stimp meter, and then there's that look, and then okay, then we went semi cornrow, and now today we got this he called the Amish look, and he's just, I'm a mess. What do you want from me? And Veritek just going to question Runge, and strikeout. So all 4 outs, strikeouts thus far for Escobar.
And in McPherson's case, who hadn't played third base here, you need to be aware of those strange kind of bounces. Maybe if the sun's going to be in your face or not.
Skied. Dallas McPherson over, makes the grab, and there's 2 out.
But Tony, I think about you. People talk about how you worked on your hitting all the time. I remember seeing you on the road too, when you would get to a new ballpark early. I mean, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, going out working on those balls that you would have to play defensively.
Bill Miller works that one up the middle for a base hit. So Billy, who was hitless in the first game, had 2 in game 2. Now with a base hit, and so 2 on for Johnny Damon. It's hard to lose concentration when a hitter as tough as Johnny Damon is up with 2 runners on. Damon, but snared by McPherson. He was on the ball, but again, the Red Sox lead 2 on.
Scoreless. But he might get a single as he did the other night on that changeup from Pedro, but he's not going to hit that off-speed pitch out of the park right now. I mean, he's just cheating on that fastball.
And it took forever to appeal, but yes, he did go around. So another strikeout, 4 in a row for Bronson Arroyo.
Looking fastball. Watch how quick he starts to swing. Right there, he thinks it's a fastball. He takes off. And there it is. Look how quick he is, Tony. He's flying. I mean, you can see where the power is at right now, but there's also a scouting report out on the young slugger.
Hit well to right, but little Eckstein is not going to hit it over the head of Trot Nixon. He was on the ball, but very quickly 2 up and 2 down. With 1,900 runs they've scored in 2 years. Hello. Right?
1,900 runs. Wow.
Plus, he's upbeat. He goes right along with him. I mean, he tries to keep him concentrating, not so much tell him all the different styles to hit, but just to concentrate and be themselves and stay in a rhythm. And Bellhorn down 0-2, works a walk, by the way. He's preached patience today, guys. Ramirez to center field. Garrett Anderson looking up, fighting the sun. Makes the catch. Ball went a long way, but Anderson tracked it down. Bellhorn back to first, 1 out. He takes a whack at this one, sends it toward the monster. It's high up off the wall. Double for Ortiz, runners at second and third. And that wakes the crowd up. They're kind of sitting on their hands here. They're ready to use them.
To me, that cures a lot of bad things. Staying back and hitting the ball the other way. You see, this ball's down in the middle of the plate, and he doesn't try to pull it. He goes with it. He uses that green monster.
But to me, Tony, that should have been a single. There was a conversation between Garrett Anderson and Devannon after that play because he hesitated. He came up looking to make the throw to begin with to third base. You have to know, see him right at the last second, pull the ball back, because that's when he heard Garrett Anderson hollering second. You should be able to hold Ortiz to a single on that and keep the double play in order.
Infield in this early. But it's not just any game. They're down 0-2 in games. Nixon rips it to the right side. Bellhorn scores. Up throwing is Vlad Guerrero. So with that arm and Ortiz, the runner, he won't motion forward. But the Red Sox are on the board.
Tony had to eventually get Escobar in trouble. He has now walked the leadoff hitter in all 3 of the first 3 innings.
Yep. And it's good hitting by Trot Nixon. He just waited him out. Got something in the middle of the plate. Drives it into right field. Knocks in the first run.
Very quickly, Buddy Black, the pitching coach, out there, and everybody on the infield, a basic football huddle on the mound. 1-2 to Millar. Broken bat. Little bleeder. Well, Millar is out, but Ortiz lumbers home, and it's 2-0 Sox. That's one way to drive in a run.
Yep.
Not his usual way.
Great pitch by Escobar.
He just couldn't get turned around to make that play. If he catches it, he could have doubled up Ortiz easily at third base. But you know, they talk about baseball being a game of inches.
So now Varitek will walk.
Well, he also intentionally walked Varitek in that big 9th inning with Cabrera coming up behind him, and it hurt him. Cabrera hit the double, 3 runs scored to break that game 2 open.
Hit up the middle, but not far enough. Snared Figgins. The Red Sox have to be happy with just 2. But they're on the board through 3. 2-0 Red Sox. Terry Francona coming up live when we come back. This is the first-year manager of the Boston Red Sox, Terry Francona. And Terry, you guys have been very patient at the plate. Escobar's throwing a lot of pitches. Obviously, game plan going in, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what? Every pitcher we face, we try to, more than be patient, we try to work the count and get in hitters' counts because we have guys that can do stuff when they get in hitters' counts. And we've done a great job so far. But, you know, we need to get a couple more long innings because if you get into a bullpen 4th, 5th inning, no matter how good they are, you got a chance to do something with them.
Terry, it looks like in about another inning it's going to be a moot point. But what are your fielders and hitters coming back telling you about the eyesight out there with the glare in center specifically?
You know what? It's real tough. And Escobar, that was something we were really worried about. Because of his change of speeds and the split, it's really difficult to see the ball. It's going to get a little bit easier right now. And hopefully we'll have a little bigger lead, and it'll be to our advantage because it's been tough first 3 innings.
And that gets easy to manage with a big lead. Good luck, Terry.
Guys,
thanks for joining us.
Welcome.
Popped. And Billy Miller grabbing that pop-up by Vladimir Guerrero. You know,
It's pure and simple the way they're pitching to Garrett Anderson so far. Everything has just been away and mostly been soft.
a weak looper. Again is grabbed by Billy Miller. And so 2 pop-ups by Vlad Guerrero and Garrett Anderson just meekly sitting back down on the bench.
He's just having a whole lot of trouble staying back. Once he picks his front foot up, his weight is going forward. And whether you got a big leg kick or big or arm delivery straight over the top or 3/4, it's going to be difficult if you can't stay back.
Well, I was at first strike to Gloss, and Troy's been disgusted his last few at bats with the strike. I'm going to say right or wrong. I mean, we detailed it in game 2, and it got so. He's not disgusted with this. Absolutely belted, gone. That's what we call a 2-backer. Back, gone. His 2 home runs have been absolutely crushed.
Well, a couple of years ago when the Anaheim Angels won the World Series, he hit 3 home runs against the San Francisco Giants. They dearly missed his bat when he had shoulder surgery back in May. And Tony, I got to feel like right along with his bat, I mean, they have missed his defense. He's not able to play third base, but we know when healthy, he can play it as well as anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, look at this. That shattered 10 cases of Coke bottles up there. I mean, that was. And Don Mattingly / Kevin Millar gobbles up another one at first. Jeff Devannon gone, but the Angels on the board. Miller singled, and it's under the glove of Sean Figgins. And a tough play, but a play that he could have made, guys. And meanwhile, with Miller on a Damon coming up. Now here's the discussion on the Troy Glaus situation, Sut.
Well, Mike Scioscia started yelling from the dugout after the first pitch because he felt like it was a ball. You look at the K-zone, you're going to see just slightly off the outside corner. There was a conversation, and all of a sudden, out of respect for Brian Runge, he comes out and talks to him. He says, Brian, you know what? We saw it on the video. That ball was a little bit outside. Brian Runge is more so of a pitcher's umpire than what we saw in Game 2 with Jerry Meals. But the thing about Brian, he is as consistent as they come. If he calls it a strike for one team, he will the other. Figgins is really struggling.
Yeah, he is.
You know that he's supposed to be on the bench with a healthy Troy Glaus and also a healthy Adam Kennedy.
Damon, what a surprise. Another base hit for Damon to left field. Devanna up with it quickly. But now the Red Sox in business once again. Johnny aboard 2 of his 3 times in this game. So let's see, he's been on 8 times in the 3 games. Misses the ball a lot. Do you swing him or just what do you want him to do?
No. You're definitely taking him because of the MVP candidate.
And he draws a base on balls. He was adept at doing that. You mentioned the on-base percentage. How about this? Bases loaded, none out for Manny Ramirez. So the Angels just continue to shoot themselves in the foot here, huh? An error and a wild pitch. It doesn't do a damage then. Buddy Black, one of the best in the business, pitching coach out there just to try to settle Escobar down. I mean, not that pitching with the bases loaded to Ramirez and then Ortiz is any soothing conversation, but wrapped to left center field. Devanna grabs it. Miller scoring. 3-1 Boston. Not necessarily what he was trying to do, going up there primarily, but second sack fly of this year. They all count.
Yep, he's 6th RBI.
It's not so much that Escobar didn't pitch well today. It's the fact that the pitch count got to him. He has thrown 92 pitches, and he has only gotten 1 out here in the 4th inning. Mike Scioscia has to make this move.
Well, so Escobar pitches only into the 4th. He's given up the 3 runs. There's 2 on. The dangerous Ortiz is up. And we'll be back. Kelvin Escobar is gone. Scott Shields, who came into work the 4th and 5th inning in game number 1, is in. Shields gave up a home run to Manny Ramirez, but then retired what followed, including David Ortiz, and then the lineup that he's going to see now. And is in exactly, theoretically, that position today if Anaheim can get some hitting going.
Well, you'd love to have an Alan Embry or a Mike Myers. Most of the damage done this year by David Ortiz was against right-handed pitching, and that is all that Mike Scioscia has to go to.
Yeah, Mike Scioscia's players don't quit either. That's how they won it all in 2002, and this ball is belted to right field. Long run, Vlad Guerrero. He won't get it. Damon's going to score. Here's the relay, and Bellhorn being held up. Second double of the game for Ortiz, 4-1.
When you talk to a lot of the Red Sox players, they flip a coin as to who their MVP has been this year. Was it Johnny Damon? Was it Manny Ramirez? Or was it David Ortiz? Tony, they talk about how consistent, though, their designated hitter has been this year.
And here he had a really good at-bat. Got a ball in the middle of the plate, drives it in right center field. And you can see that this is an inning where you had the bases loaded and nobody out. You wanted to try to get more than 1, and now they have. They've knocked in 2.
Away 3-0. And you know what that's going to be.
They'll put him on.
Yes.
To acquire.
But look, we said that Boston really had a chance not to put it away. I mean, we're only in the 4th inning, but it's Kevin Millar. Walked. Grounded to second.
Well, he ain't going to move. Hit by a pitch 17 times. He does not budge on that fastball in. He's got a lot of pull in that clubhouse, and he's got a lot of pull in his at-bats.
And Eckstein bobbles it to shovel to third safe. Another run scores. The halos are over the heads of the Red Sox with the way the Angels are playing defensively.
Well, this is a double play ball right here. That ball come up, hit him right in the palm, right in the heel.
I mean, he set a club record, that being Eckstein, for fielding percentages at the shortstop position this year. They could not, Boomer, have picked a worse time to start playing like this. You got to give credit to the offense, though, of Boston, Tony. They keep putting that pressure on.
And that's what that's what you should do. You keep putting pressure on the defensive team. Make them make plays.
And here's Eckstein with another chance at it. The shovel to Figgins. Over to Erstad. Veritek is doubled up, and the Angels do turn the double play, but the Red Sox hang a 3 spot.
He has had tremendous control of that breaking ball thus far tonight.
He waves at that one, does Molina, and that's a big way to start an inning after your team gets 3 runs.
Hey, what makes you think this is the year for the Sox?
Well, look what they're doing. Look at this. It's insane. It's just a good thing. It speaks for itself.
Steven Tyler, we appreciate your time. Have fun today.
My pleasure. All right.
Boomer.
All right, Kyle, but it does speak for itself when Veritek makes a play like that. Millard drops it, but they still call him out. I just love the coat and tie by Kyle Peterson down there with Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. It's somehow, what's wrong with this picture?
Well, what's wrong with your picture? You can't quit smiling seeing Steven Tyler right there. And these Boston fans continue to smile. They have seen Veritek.
And that's the right call. In our dorm, not many people out of New England knew about him. 73, 74, but what have they done since?
A lot of people
turn out okay.
Starting to get that same feeling he's got about these Red Sox.
Oh, man, after you get 3 runs, here's Arroyo coming up and putting on a 1-2-3 inning against the Angels. Heading to the bottom of the 5th, 5-1. This in the first 2 games in the Dodgers series with St. Louis, I mean, it's been a whimper. A whimper for Southern California. A lot can change. Look at Erstad play first base.
Had opportunities, and it's like we talked about, the Angels have given them some of them.
Now, Miller starting to hit the ball well again. 2 singles and reached and scored on an error on the rare shortstop home run to win a postseason game. It keeps that series at 1-1 with rampaging Houston. Oh, what a surprise. Johnny Damon with a base hit. So Damon aboard 3 of his 4 times.
Tony, you would know a lot more about offensively what it takes to keep it together than any of us. But the one thing that could help the Boston Red Sox by having that time off, I mean, they pushed him to the limit with that pitch count in Game 2. And you think about the right ankle of Curt Schilling. Absolutely, they want to get Schilling ready to go in Game 1 regardless of who it's against, but they'd also like to give him time, and the training staff and the doctors, to get that pain out of that right ankle, get him as close to 100% as they can.
Well, and it would be a complete week for each. Tuesday and Wednesday, as Brendan Donnelly, who did not pitch well, obviously, in when he entered in game number 2, is up throwing in the pen for Mike Scioscia. Well, Bellhorn does what he does often, either walks or strikes out. He does that now. 2 down, and a guy that these fans think should be the MVP, Manny Ramirez, coming up.
Getting to that position is such an advantage. That's why you saw the Twins go with Nathan. You saw Houston go with Lidge.
Fisted for a base hit. Miller scores. Boston on the board again. 6-1 Sox. That'll be it for Shields. The Red Sox starting to pour it on. They can taste a move ahead. They have knocked out the first reliever, Scott Shields, and now Brendan Donnelly. Normally outstanding in the pen, but touched up in game number 2. As you can see the numbers as Boston got right on him. Instead, Ortiz frozen by Donnelly. So what a surprise. A couple more stranded, but what a surprise. More runs scored by Boston. And Stephen King writing a book on this season just in case, huh? That ball lined to Manny Ramirez and looking very smooth out there. Sean Figgins is gone. The roster here and didn't pitch in the opening round against Oakland, and we told you he pitched 3 times against the Yankees, but he'll be pitching again this postseason.
Well, you've even got Pedro Martinez making nice defensive plays for them now, Tony.
And Erstad gets on. I just, if they get to the ALCS and the Yankees aren't there, I'm talking fans now, the players don't care. The Yankees aren't there and they play the Twins and happen to beat the Twins and go on to win the World Series and end the curse of the Bambino. Will they be happy enough here because they didn't go through the Yankees? Yes, of course, a purist would say they win the World Series, and I'm not suggesting that they are. But if they don't play the Yankees, will it be complete? Or one other part, and I'm just going to let it linger.
John Henry and Keno, and Theo Epstein, and Tom Werner, and you mentioned the names. Mike B.
Guerrero, meanwhile, big strikeout for Arroyo, number 7 for him.
Arroyo deserves a whole lot of credit. He's done nothing today but throw strikes.
Well, I think what Boomer said too, Tony, he mentioned Theo Epstein, and the thing about Theo, the reason this team was able to evolve is because he has done such a great job evaluating. Right. He was the one that said Bronson Arroyo is a guy that can pitch for it. He's the one that agreed with Terry Francona. Yeah, he's our 3rd game guy.
They had to make a decision, and when they made it, that disappeared. They kind of focused in on what the job at hand was, playing baseball.
Off the glove of Arroyo. Can Anderson beat it out? Yes, he can. So very quietly with a walk and a little infield chopper for Garrett Anderson, who now has 2 hits after having none going into this game. And Anaheim is 2 on.
And you hear the hush. You know why there's a hush? Because of the noise made off the bat of the man at home plate right now. There's going to be a discussion on the mound right now because Troy Gloss could put the Angels right back in this thing.
The pitching coach, Dave Wallace, Waterbury, Connecticut native, out on the hill.
For helping a lot of young pitchers become major league starters, relievers, have a lot of success.
Alan Embry, the lefty, up in the pen. Linfield pulled around. The second baseman Bellhorn not exactly behind second, but certainly pulled way over, and guarding the line at third is Miller. And that is hit in the hole, but ready for it is Cabrera. And the force over to Bellhorn. And 2 is stranded. The Red Sox are 9 outs away from moving on to the ALCS.
Well, Theo's done a nice job.
Trot Nixon, other way. But that's right at Jeff Devaney. Well, Nixon's starting to swing a better bat. Let's head to the studio, fellas.
Thanks, Chris. Dave Reps and Steve Phillips with you. High drama Wednesday night. Hideki Matsui, the sac fly in the 12th to even the Yankees series with the Twins in 1. Which team has more pressure tonight in Game 3, Steve?
Well, I think the Twins have to bounce back from a tough loss, but I think they have home field advantage. I think the pressure is on the Yankees, especially with the specter of Johan Santana scheduled to pitch Game 4.
Strike zone. You look at his walk-strikeout ratio. It changed every year. And it was funny this last winter. I have this fundraiser, a rock and roll concert every winter, and Theo Epstein and his band plays.
Theo Epstein.
Well, he looks like he should be a guitar player. Very, very much. I think a member of the Doors. We were enjoying listening to the Doors last night. At any rate, the Doors starting to get slammed shut on the Angels. Mike Timlin, who is impressed very much so in this series, and the lefty, that wild and crazy guy Mike Myers, is up with the submarine delivery from the port side. Devaney walks. Terry Francona's come out to the mound, and everybody on their feet for Bronson Arroyo. For the 21st time, he's pitched 6 or more, and he leads to a standing pitch, the Red Sox lit up the scoreboard again. Bronson Arroyo was stellar on the mound. So he leaves pitching into the 7th inning with just 3 hits.
Well, a year ago in the minor leagues, he pitched a perfect game, but that will pale in comparison, Tony, to what he did out there, what started to be this afternoon.
Pretty good run here as Mike Myers, the lefty, who will really scrape the dirt with his knuckles to deliver. As you pointed out, said earlier, let's see, Arroyo on the mound when they clinch a playoff berth last time. He had a 3-inning outing in Baltimore over the weekend just to stay sharp. Now the next week, okay, he's on the mound and perhaps they clinch a division series. What's next? Well, 2 walks have put 2 on for the Angels. So the wheels turning here in the 7th inning as the Angels just try anything to get back in the game, and the Red Sox are trying anything to keep them at bay. Mike Timlin, who is now pitching all 3 games of this series, was pitched 2 strong ones in game number 1. Struck out the side actually in the 9th. He comes on to face, well, was announced first Adam Riggs as the pinch hitter for Dallas McPherson, but now is Curtis Pride. They had 1 and 2 with 2 on and none out. And a flare, and he tried to deke Devan, and he got back there quickly, but ball is snared by Cabrera, and there's 1 out.
I don't know, Tony, thinking, you know, about it again. Why not let it bounce right now?
Maybe, yeah.
You let it bounce now. You tag the bag first. You tag the runner. You just got yourself a double play there. But, you know, sometimes those balls can take some funny hops.
Yeah.
Has a chance at another one. Little flare, Eckstein, and that's what we're talking about. The runners had to hold, and so therefore that's why barreling into second was Jose Molina. But here we go, bases loaded for Anaheim on 2 walks and a flare with 1 out. The top of the order, Sean Figgins up, then Erstad and Guerrero. However, Figgins goes out with some high cheese from Timlin, while the lefty Alan Embry continues to throw, and the dangerous Darren Erstad is up with the bases loaded. Liskanek also up, the right-hander Curtis Liskanek. Ball 4. So Erstad, after 0-2, draws a walk, and Vladimir Guerrero coming up with the bases juiced. 6-2.
He did it, Tony.
He did it.
Mike Scioscia created this opportunity.
And they know the situation. The last thing Timlin wants to do is leave a ball out over the middle of the plate that Guerrero could, you know, possibly get up and drive out of here. So, you know, he's still got to focus in on making good pitches.
He hits this ball a long way to right. Back it goes. Back, back, back. Gone! Tied up! A game that seemed so easy, so much of a foregone conclusion, is now tied. Out of nowhere have come the Angels. The silence deafening.
Rick, you set it up. This is exactly what Scioscia wanted. He wanted to give his guy an opportunity to maybe tie this game with 1 swing and a bat, and look at that.
Vladimir Guerrero has not touched home plate in this series until right now. I think he picked the perfect spot.
Mike Timlin has been automatic for 2 years until right now. That's why they play the whole game. Embry, fittingly, as Mount St. Helens starts to erupt from Vancouver, Washington, where that volcano is. He's coming in to try to quell this Angel eruption. The stunned crowd trying to help Embry now. Little chopper by Garrett Anderson. Bellhorn to Mankiewicz. And the Angels are gone, but not until a grand slam from Vladimir Guerrero. 5 in all, 7th inning stretch, and all of a sudden we got a tie ball game. And we showed you the first night in 1986. Angels about to go to the World Series. Dave Henderson, the home run, and they win in extra innings, and then they go on and win games 6 and 7. Now they're saying, uh-oh, could it come back now? We're up 2-0, up 6-1, and I'm getting ahead of myself. You saw Figgins move around. Meziga, who started game 1 at second base, is in. Figgins is at third. Talk about a story of perseverance as Cabrera strikes out. Bill Miller up. He's been on base all 3 times, 2 singles. He's gotten on an error by Figgins, the second baseman, and has scored 2 runs. He pops this up, and Erstad is there at first. And Billy Miller is gone. And now that Brendan Donnelly came in. 2 outs in the 5th to settle and to strand 2 bases in the 5th inning. 2 on base. Pitched to 1, 2, 3, 6, and did his part to get the Angels to get to this point. There's Frankie Rodriguez.
Tony, he doesn't want him out there. He said, "Oh, they're going to get hurt. We'll get other people out there that are more comfortable." But he was there. He's back, and he is throwing well.
Well, so much for Donnelly not delivering in game 2. He's delivered here with 7 straight outs. Center coming on Damon. Got a good jump on the ball because Gloss takes such a big swing. And the dangerous Gloss is out with 1 out here in the 8th.
And there's some right, some left, and going out every day and getting some consistent at bats. And as you get at bats, you get more confident.
So it just starts with talent, obviously.
Yeah, it does.
And then it comes with playing time.
But playing time allows you to kind of test out all this stuff people are trying to teach.
You know, the box score will show 0 for 2 for Jeff Devannon. It's the second walk he's grabbed in late inning play. Terry Francona will make a move. We'll be back. Red Sox closer Keith Fulp. We told you Joe Nathan pitched 3, Brad Lidge pitched 3, John Smoltz pitched 3. So here we are, tie game 8th, and the Red Sox closer Keith Fulp on. Here he goes, fisted. Damon there, and Devannon's going to have to sprint it back. So 2 outs.
I mean, you got rid of him. He's out of the way. You can get Eckstein leading off the top of the 9th.
Fulp got rid of him there. Was all Sox until Vladimir Guerrero got involved. And Cisco Rodriguez. And how about the job that Donnelly did? Didn't pitch well at all. And the Red Sox at 9th inning in game number 2. 7 up, 7 down for him.
Well, Mike Scioscia got what he wanted, Tony. When he went into this series, he wanted it to be a battle of the bullpens. He just didn't want to get into that bullpen in the 4th inning when he had 2 tonight.
That one passed through the zone, and Bellhorn has struck out for the 3rd time tonight.
Well, their big boy struck, that being Vladimir Guerrero. It all of a sudden now, with this strikeout to Bellhorn, turns into Manny Ramirez time. This is why you come to the ballpark.
And he pulled a chain on that one, and Ramirez has struck out. 2 down in the 8th. Basically, there's a huge gap up the right center field alley for Ortiz. And that's where he goes, maybe. But this will be quite a throw. Almost by Meziga. Almost like he needed to hit the cutoff man from the outfield.
He made a nice
Almost
play.
made it. Well, Nixon will walk. Ortiz to second. It doesn't change your move.
Let's see if he makes a move now.
Don't you have to?
I think you do now.
Well, what's so...
I always say, you know...
What's this conversation with the manager, not Bud Black, who usually goes in a non-change situation?
He's bringing all the infield in here. I mean, you've got a young infield. You've got Figgins there and Meziga. All he's doing, Boomer, is saying, look, you guys play as deep as you possibly can.
Ground ball. Meziga flipped to Eckstein, and they make the play.
Well, Mike Scioscia backed them up to where they had time to make the play.
He's done this before. Still tied. But Eckstein, who singled. How about that at bat that he had last time up? One of the many clutch at bats to allow Guerrero the chance to hit the slam. Manny Ramirez in left. 1 out. Three-two pitch. Figgins drops one to left in front of Ramirez. So he's on with the go-ahead run in the 9th for Anaheim.
Just don't get picked off. Too many options here.
There he goes. Erstad drives it well to left center field. Ramirez gonna have to play it off the wall. Figgins to third, being held up there. Double by Darren Erstad.
What a great deke by Manny Ramirez. The way he took off after that ball, you weren't sure if he was going to be able to catch it or if it was going to go off the wall, and Sean Figgins had to stop at second base to see. You know, Erstad drives this ball into left center field. Now watch Manny Ramirez. He shifts over when he realizes he can't catch it, and Figgins was at second base waiting to see.
If he goes right now, there's a chance he scores.
Garrett Anderson, who didn't have a hit in either of the first 2 games, is 2 for 4 in this game. Gets him to wave at it. What a big job by Falk, and Garrett Anderson, you figure, would just be able to loft one. That's all they need with a fast man at third, but he couldn't get it done.
Tony, as a hitter, a lot of times you will feel the catcher move behind you. What Varitek did on that pitch, he moved inside to begin with. He set up inside, and then you can see right there at the end late, he moved away, I think, setting up that big pitch and that strikeout.
Yes, he gets him. The agonizing wait. Gloss is struck out. Fulk has stranded the bases full. And the Red Sox head to the bottom of the 9th with a chance to win this AL Division Series if they can just scratch 1 run across.
This is Varitek's moment.
Varitek to Erstad. And Darren has it 1 out.
Focus of Francisco Rodriguez. I mean, he went from being out of the ball game and Percival in to win it to all of a sudden now right back into the heat of the battle. I mean, one mistake, you lose the ball game, you go home. He has not made that mistake yet.
Figgins. Erstad, and he digs it up.
Figgins is scared out there defensively, Tony. There's not an easier throw than that for a third baseman. And without Erstad, he throws it away, and it possibly could have been a runner in scoring position.
I don't think there's any question. He's definitely thinking about every time a ball is being hit to him. And he gets this ball in plenty of time to set his feet and make a good throw, but this throw is short, and Erstad does what Gold Glove first basemen do.
Miller to left. Jeff DeVannen is there. And let's play some more, shall we? Going to extra innings at the Fens. Derek Lowe, who was on the hill 2 years ago to clinch this very round against Oakland, getting with the bases loaded. Terrence Long, Game 5 in Oakland. Now Lowe, much of the year the #3 starter, has come on to pitch relief. He starts off against Jeff DeVannen, who hits it well to center field. Damon back to the track, and he hauls it in. Well, that ball kept going and going and going, and Damon had a good beat on it right off the bat.
Got a great jump. DeVannen got a pitch hanging in the strike zone, and Damon goes back, has a great jump on it, and makes the play.
Yeah, how about Derek Lowe having to change his mindset? You know, all of a sudden, you're not one of the starters. We'll see how we use you, and we'll see what you'll be ready. And then, I mean, he's been a closer before.
Ball 4, buddy.
I was going to say, I thought that was ball 4.
Does he want to hit that bat?
Yeah, I guess he was so locked in. He was.
Lowe thrown over to take a look at Jose Molina. I mean, I can't believe he's, well, there it is. The bunt laid down, and a tough throw, nicely done by Bill Miller. So Amezaga bunts it. Molina to second, and it wasn't that was a nice play there.
That was a great play by Billy Miller. Meziga put it down exactly where you needed to put it down, and Miller came a long way for this ball and bare hands and throws right on the money.
Well, here's a big picture now, right? Here's a team that couldn't field or bunt for 2.5 games.
But all of a sudden, exactly, Boomer, we're starting to see productive outs from Anaheim. A hit right now could mean the lead.
Eckstein chops it. Cabrera doesn't get him. Miller made a first move for the ball. Of course, the runner, Molina, is in the eyesight as well, though Cabrera's made that play a lot. Just Eckstein with his little wheels just beat it out.
Yep. And it's, you know, this inning.
See, well, maybe.
Cabrera does all he could do. Plants his foot and makes a good throw. But this is Angel baseball right here. Guys putting a bat on the ball. Eckstein getting down the line, beating it out.
Up the middle, Cabrera over to first and gets the speedy Figgins. So the Angels strand 2. Lowe does the job. Boston has a chance to win it in the bottom of the 10th. Damon up the middle, base hit. You just know it. On board for the 4th time tonight, the 10th time this series. The guy's, he's one of the best leadoff men that we've seen in a while.
This is breaking ball, backdoor breaking ball, stays on it, hits it back where it came from. That breaking ball didn't have as much break as the one before that, but he was right on it.
One, Figgins, can he make this throw? Man, he made it difficult, but a big time play.
Eckstein was unbelievable on this ball. This could have been another error for Figgins. He made the right move. He went in the right direction. He was in to begin with. The bunt was right to him. Yep. But watch the throw and watch the play by Eckstein. Look at the stretch. Wow. Look at him come up with it.
And Manny knew it. Completely fooled him and was headed to the dugout as soon as the ball hit Molina's mitt.
He knows when a pitcher's starting to lose a little bit.
Good call,
making a move.
Will it be Washburn? You would think. So much for that theory. Frankie out. Washburn certainly no stranger to postseason heroics or tough spots.
Really a difficult decision to make, because in game 1, Ortiz had a base hit and an RBI in the first inning. He walked in his second at bat. He has had a lot of success against Washburn, but you have to understand, Rodriguez gave him everything he possibly had, as has just about everybody out there on the field today.
Well, he went 2 2/3, did K-Rod. And here's David Ortiz. You see that number today with 3 hits. This could be 4. Back it goes. It's over. The Red Sox win, and they're moving on up. In the end, too much thunder in the Boston lineup. Mike Scioscia made all the right moves until the last one. David Ortiz was ready for Washburn. And the Red Sox win it 8-6.
But Boomer, it comes down to a move that Terry Francona did not make. We talked about it in the bottom of the 8th. He had Ortiz at first base. He had 2 outs. He could have pinch run for Ortiz with Dave Roberts, try to steal a base, maybe steal a ball game. He did not make that move. He kept Ortiz's bat in the ball game, and it's the difference in the series.
So for the second year in a row, the wild card Red Sox bounced the AL West champs because David Ortiz saw one pitch and he unloaded. And the October 8th, 2004 Boston D Party as in Division Series is underway. They've just got a lot of answers at the plate, huh, guys?
They do.
Rick Sutcliffe, Tony Gwynn enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it.
As always, Boomer.
Will this year be different for Boston? You cannot go on and think World Series unless you start winning series. Only their second sweep in franchise history in the postseason. They made it then in '75 when they swept Oakland. The final, an Ortiz's homer in 10. Red Sox 8, the Angels 6. For all of us at Fenway, thanks for watching.